Hi, everyone. Welcome to our One World Zohar. This week's portion, it does not have a specific portion of the Zohar. So we're in volume 1, and we're at verse 61 of the prologue in volume 1. Just notice my camera's in a funny position, so we're going to go with that. Let's begin by inviting in the Kabbalistic lineage. Again, we invite them in to assist us in our study and assist in revealing what it is that we need to see in these verses, not only for ourselves, but for the world as we channel in the study. So let's invite in the Rav and Karen and Michael, Rabbi Schlag, Rabbi Brandwein, the Ariya Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Ramazulai, Rabbi Nachman Mendel Levitetsk, Rabbi Kolonu, Shapir Piasetzna, the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and all the students, Rabbi Mordechai of Chernobyl, one soul with Joseph the Righteous, Joseph and Tzaddik and Shem. Today is the 15th day of Elul, so it's a full moon last night. So we have full-on Virgo energy. That will explain what you're feeling, because that's the energy out there. So if you weren't feeling judgy yesterday, you're feeling a little bit more judgy today. I mean, it's full moon energy. And we want to use that discernment, let's call it, to look at the things that we want to work on ourselves as we prepare for the new year. Remember, if the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So this is our opportunity to find a different way to do it for the new year. We also have the assistance of Rabbi Yaakov Kapel Chassid, a student of the Baal Shem Tov, and Rabbi David Lasker, the Mule Igagi, who is the brother of Rabbi Shlomo ben Lechantz. So we have their assistance today also. And as we do each week, every day that we study, let's begin by connecting to the energy of healing and sending healing energy to everybody we know who needs healing. As we connect to these verses as a channel to the level of Binah, we connect to fulfillment. And one of those aspects is the energy of healing. So we want to send out energy of healing to everyone we know. Also, let's send out energy of assistance to those souls that we know are in the first 12 months of their leaving the physical realm. Yehuda ben Avram, Genesis bat Zev, Wendy bat Stanford, Yael bet Yaakov, Joanne bat Sefi. Let's also connect to the energy of Ahavat Chinam, unconditional love, treating everyone in the world with human decency, ending the wars and conflicts in our world, protection for all those innocents in harm's way. Specifically, let's send energy of assistance to everyone in Nepal that was hit very hard by that terrible flooding, and also to those who are trying to recover from the earthquake in Colombia. Send everyone in both those places energy of protection and energy of healing. Also, energy of protection from evil eye and evil speech, and removal of chaos and negativity from our world. Okay, verse 61. Breshit, Rabbi Shimon Patach, the Asim Dvarai Beficha, Kama it le lavarnash, lishtadla b'oraita yamama v'lelia. Begin the Kadosh Baruch Hu tzayet lekalhon, di'inun mit aske b'oraita, u'l'chol milah dit chadesh b'oraita, ayada dehahu di'ish tada b'oraita, aved rikia chada. Miriam, do you have an introduction in your section?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't we start with the introduction? Go slow, because I think I'm sensing there's a lot that's going to come out
You're
of that.
sensing you're going to interrupt me?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay, so we're in chapter 11 and it's called You Are My Partner. From this section of the Zohar, we learn that our primary purpose in life is to complete and perfect creation. You want to interrupt?
Not yet, but that's good. That's good. That's good intuition right there.
He will let you know. He will let you know.
Okay. To perfect creation through our own spiritual transformation and growth.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. So it's what I would say a complex sentence. So let's break it down. Our purpose in life, all of us here, the six of us that are on this call, and the countless others that are going to watch the video, our primary purpose is to complete and perfect creation. I mean, look around. Creation took place. We read about the 6 days of creation, the seventh day of rest, and then it's like hit play, and here we are. Isn't that what I experience? That's an illusion. That's a complete illusion. Creation is still taking place. And how do I know? Well, our teachers tell us that, and the Zohar is telling us that. But you can look around. The world is far from perfect.
In addition,
We're not done. We're not done. The world is far from perfect. And so our work involves perfecting the world. Well, where's the task list for that? Where is the email or text message or WhatsApp telling me what my role is in that work? What am I doing? Am I supporting charitable causes? Where's the work? Well, yeah, it's nice to support charitable causes, that's for sure. But what the Zohar goes on with this introduction is going on to tell us is we are completing imperfection creation through our own spiritual transformation and growth. We're saying that perfecting the world means I need to work on myself. So let's just be clear. There's no lack of clarity on that. That is it. That's what you came here to do. Well, that's a funny thing. It sounds selfish working on myself. What about the rest of the world? No, that's specifically why your soul came here. Because if everybody gets this message, the world is a different place. And frankly, not everyone has to get it, because not everyone's going to get it. But there is a tipping point where enough people get it and the world changes. Change can happen in an instant. And what's required is not for me to, travel around the world helping people. That's great. What's really my primary purpose is working on me. I'm the one with the blockages. And if I don't see that, I can do all this work to help the world. But if I'm not working on myself, I'm not aligned with my soul's purpose. Aaron, it looks like you want to say something about that.
Oh my gosh, I do. There's so much there. It makes me think of Gandhi's quote, you must be the change you wish to see in the world, right? And I think of like, how I'm speaking in a blanket term, like how we want to change the world or we want to change something or other people, but a lot of times we don't look towards, like, we don't look within, right? And there's one more thing um that I hear, like I've heard before. It's like, how can you lead other, because there's like leaders, right? Like leadership.
Yes.
Um, but it's like, how can you lead other people if you can't lead yourself first?
Yeah,
So all
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot there, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's especially appropriate for discussion in the month of Virgo, in the month of Elul, which again, it's full moon Virgo right now, in that Virgos literally they can see everyone else's flaws, but they can't see their own. And that is what we're literally experiencing. So I didn't really pick this section with that in mind. It kind of picked us to drive home the point that it's about me seeing the things I need to work on. I need to become a little bit nicer to service people. I'm just saying, maybe that's the thing I need to work on. Maybe if I'm already nice, then probably it isn't. Like, where is it that I'm not showing up with an open heart? And by the same token, where is it that I'm showing up with too open of a heart and I don't have appropriate boundaries? So the first opportunity, the first takeaway for us in this study is developing a greater sensitivity to where I need to be more open-hearted, where I need to be more boundaried, and understand that the primary purpose is me looking at myself. This self-awareness. Okay, let's continue. Miriam, you're doing a great job.
In addition, Rabbi Shimon implores his students not to share or speak of spiritual wisdom that is not derived directly from the mouth of their teacher.
Okay, so that's really important. That's why you'll only hear me repeat things I've heard from my teachers. And that's why many times I'll say, as our teachers have told us, or as we've studied from our teachers, or as we've learned from the lineage of Kabbalists, which is why we invite them in. We're not coming up with our own unique views of what this is. And before I ever started doing this, approximately 6-7 years ago, I had a conversation with my teacher about, can I study Zohar with people? Let's continue.
My cat is meowing a lot, so excuse the background noise.
It's okay. That just adds to the whole experience.
This sentence makes me think of chas v'shalom, people who come to the center and then go off on their own path and want to teach this wisdom. And they're not even quoting our teachers, never mind. It's not even quoting the Zohar. It's like their own show. And it's entertaining, but it feels very dangerous.
It does feel very dangerous. That's a good way to put it.
I just met with somebody and I said, open your Instagram. You can see 15 teenagers teaching Kabbalah. Like,
right.
It's everywhere right now. And maybe that's one of the reasons they wanted to keep it a secret.
For sure, it's one of the reasons why they were not sharing it. And for sure, we know, and you raised another good point, in the writings of Rabbi Schlag, who started the center in 1922 in Jerusalem, in his writings, he says the reason why he started to teach other people is because with the printing press, people who weren't really teachers, really didn't know enough, were writing and printing their works. And he would read that stuff and be like, this is telling me that it's time for me to start teaching, to open things up to the world. And that was the beginning of why we're here right now. Okay, let's continue.
Doing so, he warns, can cause death and bring destruction to our physical world.
Yeah, let's not take that lightly. Go ahead.
The strength to make our own spiritual corrections in life and to complete the thought of creation is given to us the moment we scan this section.
That's interesting. So this is the task list right here. Like sorry you had to come to this class and learn that. I know you're busy, but now we have a new job. The deep reality is that changed at Mount Sinai. That changed at the giving of the Torah to Moses on Mount Sinai. We took over for the angels in completing the task of creation. And, we read about as we've been studying Monday through Thursday in the study of Breshit, of Genesis, the Zohar on that, we read that so many of the verses in the creation story have application explaining what happened thousands of years later. It wasn't a creation that was set in time. It was a creation that continues to unfold. And if you look at it from that perspective, we're still going through creation. Remember, in the spiritual realm, there is no time, space, and motion. So if creation took place, creation is taking place. Everything always takes place in the present moment. There is no such thing as a past. There is no such thing as a future. There's only ever the present moment, which you are always experiencing at some level. Our ability to be more present aligns us more closely with the light of the Creator and our soul for that reason. Okay, let's continue.
We acquire the discipline to always remain on the true path of wisdom, and we gain the strength to avoid temptation by easier but less powerful teachings.
Okay, so that's a really good point. Again, strengthening a major takeaway for us in this study is strengthening us to not go for immediate gratification, not go for what feels right in the moment, but to have a more soulful, deeper perspective on everything that we experience and everything that we take action on. Okay, can you read 61, the English?
Yes. Bereshit, Rabbi Shimon opened the discussion with the verse, and I have put my words in your mouth. How important it is for a person to study laboriously the Torah day and night.
Okay, so it sounds like we should just have our noses in the book and that the real work is to be just a scholar of the holy writings. And some people take that very literally. A lot of people take that very literally. There are schools, yeshivot, all over the world where that's all that they do. And that's great. And for us, it's not just the study. Our perspective Kabbalistically is not to go up in a mountain and just to meditate on the verses. For us, it's a living Torah. Torah is the reality that we are encountering 24/7. And that's what we're supposed to be paying attention to. And that's what we're supposed to be studying laboriously. Like, what is coming up and what do I need to do? And I use the holy verses as guidance to assist me in doing that work.
I like, David, how you're saying creation, and I hear Croatia.
Oh, that's so interesting. Is that where the name comes from?
Good question.
I wonder where does the name Croatia come from?
Because in my language, it has nothing to do with the English version. It's called Hrvatska, right? And then the English version is Croatia.
That's so funny. That's so interesting. We'll have to look into that.
Cool.
Let's continue, Miriam.
So the question is, how important is it? And then it continues, very important.
As if we were asking the question, how important? Very important.
Because the Holy One, blessed be He, listens attentively to the voices of those who occupy themselves with the study of the Torah.
You mean He just wants to hear us read the words? Can it be that simple? He wants us to read what's going on in our lives. She, the Creator. The Creator wants us to have self-awareness. The Creator is looking at us to see if we're working to align ourselves with our soul's purpose. The power of Torah study, of doing what we're doing right now, is strengthening our soul connection so that we can see that deeper reality and be more aligned with our soul's purpose. Let's continue.
And every word that receives a new interpretation by a person who delves into the study of the Torah creates a new firmament.
So for every new interpretation there is, it's like creating a new world. So how do you reconcile that line with the line in the introduction that says, from Rabbi Rimmer Shimon is employing students not to share or speak spiritualism that they didn't hear directly from the mouth of their teacher. On the one hand, the Zohar in this paragraph is saying, hey, you come up with a new interpretation, you create a new world. In the introduction, though, it's saying that that's dangerous. So which is it? Let's read on. Let's read on. They're both true. I'm not sure how we reconcile that right now.
Isn't the one in our inner world the one that is the last one we read? Because when we do that, it says, receives a new interpretation by a person who delves into the study. I am the one adding to the collective.
It could be that, very simply. Yes.
But then again, I always have to have in mind, if I'm sharing, to say by my teacher, from my teacher.
Yes. I mean, it's like I can look at listen, take an example. I can look at the word Croatia and say, I wonder what deep meaning there is there.
Mm.
And if I create my own thoughts about it, that's what's dangerous.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take the word Breshit and create, and I hear people do this all the time. I hear people take holy verses and say what I think this means. Yes, Aaron.
I think that happens a lot, not just with holy verses. And then people take action on it and they don't have the full information, and that's the dangerous part, I think.
It's even dangerous with not holy verses, but even more so with holy verses.
Yeah.
is taking liberties
Mhm.
and, creating, new understandings. My example is there was a group of people, and I'm sure they were well-meaning, but they decided like, Passover is an established Seder plate with items that are there to channel specific energy for us. But there was a group a few years ago that was marketing the idea of putting an orange on there.
I heard that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. It was very popular. We're putting an orange on the Seder plate. And I'm like, listen, the Seder plate covers everything. So if you have an idea that you want it, that if you can't fit it into the items that are there, I don't know. I don't think you need an orange for that, but okay.
David, I want to go back a second. You said that it's not appropriate to put your own thoughts into reading a phrase and then put your own thoughts into it. Yet, although I haven't been to a yeshiva and I haven't studied that way, that what I've seen done in movies is you'd see a couple of students, typically younger guys, who are arguing with each other about what a verse meant.
Yes, they're arguing about what it meant, which is different. And as opposed to just on their own attaching their own meaning. And that in the Talmud, and you raise a very good point, in the Talmud themselves, they were debating what things meant. And how did they figure out what they meant? They would bring down verses from the Holy Writings, much like that happens here, right here. Like it's the verse that will inform us about the meaning. And it's Rabbi Shimon. I'm not going to question Rabbi Shimon. I'm not going to question what Moses said or Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said. Like the reason why we invite in the lineage of Kabbalists to assist us is because I want their help in understanding what's going on. It's not me.
But the interpretation of what we're reading in, let's just say in English, the interpretation of what we're reading in English is still up to our own mind in terms of what we think it means. I mean, how is that any different?
Well, because these were not my words that we're reading.
Okay.
And if you look at a Talmud, you'll see in a traditional Talmud, there's what's called the Mishnah, which is an older section. And then the section right below it is the Gemara, which is a more recent group of rabbis. We're still talking about a couple thousand years. So there's the original interpretation of things. Then there's the further, illumination by the next generation of scholars. And then on the sides of the pages, you have Rashi, you have all these different commentators. We're not at their level. They're basing it on what they heard from their teachers.
So we should just accept. We should
Well,
accept.
they tell you where they got it from.
Yeah. Okay.
And to this day, this is where scholarship comes in. It's all based on sources. It all has to be sourced.
So we're safe if we read the English, even alone, and we say, okay, this is what I think it means.
Well, this is what they're telling us it means. But there's a difference here, because here I am saying, look, I'm always trying to emphasize what what present moment relevance there is for us here.
Yeah, it has to be relevant for us.
It has to be relevant. So that's what I'm looking for. But it's not me that's coming up with it, even though I'm saying it. I assure you, it's not me. I'm just a channel. But it's a really important point.
Hey, David.
Yes.
Can I just say one real off-topic thing? I had to look it up real quick. So the English name Croatia comes from the medieval Latin adaptation of the native Slavic word Hrvatska, right? Did I say that correctly? I guess that's.
And where does that come from? Okay, all right. So we hit a dead end. That's good though.
Wait, I did something. Wait, hold on. Don't go. I ended up with something like that, but then also I ended saying, hold on. The English name Croatia developed from the Latin Croatia, which is name from the older Havrat, right? And then it continues explain. In 2019, linguistic studies argue that Havrat ultimately derives from an Iranian term meaning approximately guardian or protector.
Interesting, interesting.
According
So
to-
it's got Persian roots. Very interesting. Okay, let's continue. Verse 62. Tanan behaishata the mila de oraita itchadshat mipumei devarnash. Hai mila salka vit ad dat kameg de kadosh baruch hu. V'kadosh baruch hu natel lahai mila unshek la ve'atar la b'shiv'in itrin glifin umechakakan. Umila de chachmatad itchadsha salka ve'yatva al resha de tzadik chad almin. Ve'tasa mitaman. V'shata b'shiv'in elef almin. Uslikat legabe atik yomin v'chomilin de atik yomin. Milin de chachmata inun berazin stimin ilain.
We have already learned that at the moment when a novel interpretation in the Torah is presented by any person, that word ascends and is met before the Holy One, blessed be He. And the Holy One, blessed be He, receives this matter and kisses it.
Now, do you really think he kisses it? So this is this is anthropomorphic in that it's trying to express what happens in human emotional terms. So what happens? What does that mean? Well, doesn't take a genius to, hang on one second. It doesn't take a genius to figure out it's very precious to the Creator. Why is it so precious to the Creator? And by the way, is it really real and novel? Can you really say that Rabbi Akiva or Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai or any of the great spiritual giants that have walked the face of the earth are coming up with an interpretation that the Creator didn't know? Is that possible? Can someone come up with something the Creator didn't know already? It's not possible. Now, by the way,
Maybe it is.
What?
Maybe it is possible because speaking about anthropomorphizing, maybe the Creator doesn't deal with knowledge the way that we do.
Well, that's a great suggestion. Probably the Creator doesn't. But again, to say that the Creator does or doesn't know is also anthropomorphic because that's also human. And yeah, I know people that know stuff and I know people that don't know stuff. So it's somewhat of a paradox. And I want to say that we don't have to really figure that out because it's beyond human comprehension. I think the important thing is to understand that the Creator, the creative energy, really, really finds it precious when we're trying to reveal what is secret to us, what our understandings that we don't yet have. That is our participation in the creative process. And perhaps that's why it's so precious to the Creator, because we are now, when you come up with a novel understanding, we are revealing more of the light of the Creator in our world. And okay, so that's great, but like that's for scholars. No, when you reveal an aspect of yourself that is hidden, you are participating in the perfection of creation. And that is precious to the Creator. There's no more important thing that we can do than to rise above our limitations, to remove our blockages, to move above our body consciousness, our selfish desires. There's nothing more precious to the Creator than we can do than rise above that and be more aligned with the light of the Creator and the light of our soul. Let's continue.
He also adorns it with 70 graven and inscribed crowns. And this new word of wisdom that is revealed is then set upon the head of the righteous who lives forever. Then it flies off and floats through 70,000 worlds until it reaches Atik Yomin, which is the Sphira of Keter. And all the words of Atik Yomin are words of wisdom, comprising sublime and hidden mysteries.
So, wow, that's quite an achievement for a word, a novel understanding. It literally, it flies through worlds and it reaches Atik Yomin, which is Keter. Now, if you look at the tree of life, there's 10 there's 10 points along the tree of life. The highest is Keter. And what we're told is Keter is beyond human comprehension, which is why it says words of wisdom comprising sublime and hidden mysteries. It's stuff we don't know. It's stuff we don't know we don't even know. It's beyond human comprehension. Does my soul know it? I can't answer that question. I don't know. Isn't it funny though that we know that there's an area that we don't know? So don't we kind of know it?
Well, they say there's what you know, what you think you know, and what you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
And that's most of what can be known.
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, I'm always thinking it's not a large category of information. But that's me looking at life through body consciousness. But the deeper reality is it's 99%. It's like mostly everything. I know nothing. I know nothing relative to what's unknown. And so another major takeaway for us is really humility right here. Like we really don't know. We just don't know. And we just do the best we can. Are we going to make mistakes? I don't think we're going to call them mistakes. I'm not sure they're mistakes. We're here to learn through trial and error. It's really the only way. Life is experiential. And, you know, when we beat up on ourselves for whatever it is that we do or don't do, or for whatever boundaries we violate, for whatever insensitivities we have, when we beat ourselves up for that, we're missing the point. It's an opportunity to grow. It's not an opportunity to beat ourselves up. So another major takeaway to understand is there really aren't any mistakes. Arguably, the golden calf was a mistake. Arguably, Adam and Eve eating the apple at the suggestion of the snake was a mistake. I mean, those are both huge sins, the original sin and the follow-up sin at Mount Sinai. You could say, oh, boy, were those mistakes. And yet, what we're taught is like those things had to happen. Those things had to happen. So I'm not sure they were really mistakes. I didn't like the results of those decisions, losing immortality. But ultimately that's where we were. In the Garden of Eden, we wanted to earn the light. We didn't just want to receive the light. We wanted to earn the light. So we needed in an environment, a tree of knowledge of good and evil. The present consciousness, that is our body consciousness, that's the desire to receive for the self. We need that. So when we rise above it and when we receive blessings, we have earned those blessings. Let's continue with verse 63. V'hai mila stima dechachmata de'itchad shat hacha katsalka itcha barat v'inun milin de'atik yomin. V'salk v'nachta v'hadaihu. De'alat betam nesar almin genizin de'ayin lo ra'ata elokim ol zulatecha. Nafke mitaman v'shatan de'atyan mele'anu shlemin. V'it'atadu kame atik yomin. V'hayishata arak atik yomin b'hai mila v'nicha kame mikola. V'natelahi mila v'atar la betlat me'a v'shav'in elef itrin. Hay mila tasat v'salkan v'nachta v'it'avida rikia chada. Miriam?
I'm up. When this concealed matter of wisdom is revealed here in this world, as it ascends, it joins the words of Atik Yomin and goes up and down together with them.
So it starts here. It's revealed. It's concealed matter that's revealed. And then it sounds like it gets concealed again because it goes up to Atik Yomin, whatever that is, but that's an aspect of Keter. So it was revealed, but then it's hidden again. What exactly is going on with that? By the way, we read Atik Yomin. If you see in the English translation, it's italicized because it's not English. Like it's not translated here. Well, why? Well, Atik Yomin literally means ancient days. Well, that makes it sound like it's like something that really happened a long time ago. But I thought you said that there is no time in the spiritual realm. That's correct. So it's in itself, it's a paradox. And what the Rav always pointed out, again, not my idea, this was the Rav's teaching, is that when you see the paradox, you're closer to the truth. Which is also a paradox, which is why I like to quote that, because it's a paradox within a paradox. Like we see paradox and we're like, oh my God, it's so frustrating. What is the, what? No. It's not frustrating. It's like, it's seeing a deeper reality because the paradox is only a paradox in our world, in the 1%. It's not a paradox in the upper realm. We just can't see it. It's beyond our comprehension to reconcile certain things that are in conflict. So again, major takeaway for us is not only do I want to see the paradox. I want to see the paradox in life. It's just super interesting. But more important than that, it's me seeing a deeper reality. Let's continue.
Then it enters 18 hidden worlds that neither has the eye seen Elohim besides you. Afterward, they leave there to float around before they are presented in full perfection to Atik Yomin. At this stage, Atik Yomin smells the odor of the matter, and he finds it most desirable, more desirable, in fact, than anything else.
Okay, so I have to ask the question, whatever this amazing insight is, does it actually have a smell? And what was the smell like? Like fresh baked cookies? Like what exactly is going on? And does Atik Yomin have a nose? Because without a nose, you can't smell. So like what, again, anthropomorphic explanation so that we can have a greater appreciation for the preciousness of this revealing of deeper truths, which we're so blessed to be reading the Zohar and connecting to this revelation of deeper truths, even though we don't understand them. Even with that, because your soul, this is like, it's like honey to your soul. And so again, for us, tremendous opportunities for us to strengthen our soul connection and to see more of that deeper reality. Let's continue.
He then takes it and crowns it with 370,000 crowns. And the phrase which reveals a new idea of the Torah flies on high, going up and down before landing. Thus, a heaven is made out of it.
I mean, it's quite a poetic description of what happens to these revelations. And so, listen, we're at a time, but I just want to bottom line it with, for us, here we are on the, with Shabbat tonight, we have all this energy of the Garden of Eden beginning to infuse our world as it does every Friday afternoon. It's us again connecting to this energy of creation, which I thought creation happened already, but I see that creation is still going on. And I see that I am still playing a role in that creative process. And I also have the ability to see that my work on myself is just as important as anything else in the world that's going on right now. And so a lot to think about as we approach Rosh Hashanah, which if today is the 15th, it's 2 weeks from now. And literally, it's 2 weeks from tonight. So we're on track as we prepare for a year of blessings, for a year of health, for a year of physical sustenance, for a year of personal sustenance. That's what we want to go into the new year with, clearing the slate, clearing away our blockages, trying to find out how I need to show up differently to have a blessed and prosperous both physical and spiritual year ahead. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you all for joining us. Miriam, thank you for reading.
Thank
Love you all.
you.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Shalom.